The following portion of the Arizona Daily Mix is sponsored by Empowerment Networking Organization.
Small businesses face major hurdles: wearing too many hats, inconsistent cash flow, attracting and retaining customers, improving operations, strong competition, and more. But the owner of My Biz Coaches, Eric Whitmoyer, joins us this morning to show how to overcome some of these challenges and thrive. Good morning.
Good morning.
So let's get right to the stark reality of starting a small business, which is the dream of so many people, but about a quarter of them don't really even make it past 1 year.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Not only do they not make it past the first year, but another 50% will not make it past 5 years.
It's so depressing.
Absolutely.
Why do you believe in the power of coaching for a small business owner?
Well, as you very well know, athletes specifically, often use coaches and multiple coaches in their ability to develop their skill sets, improve. Not only do you have a head coach, but then you have assistant coaches and you have fitness coaches and training coaches. In business is no different. There's many different aspects of your business. You have your managing your finances, you have managing your inventory and transportation, or you have managing the sales department, the marketing strategies that you have. No one person can know all of those well enough to be successful. And so we've identified 6 core competencies that we help our clients understand and introduce into their business, and allows them to be able to capitalize and make sure that they're not missing any of those core competencies.
Well, you mentioned coaches in athletics. Even if you really like an incredible hitter, somebody on the outside might see something you're doing different.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think that's the main thing that we bring to a client is the objective perspective. From the outside looking in, I'm not emotionally attached to that business. I'm emotionally attached to my client and helping them be successful, but I'm not attached to the business, and I also don't have attachments to the individuals that might be working in the organization. So if there are people that are not pulling their weight, or if there's people that are doing a good job but maybe better suited in a different role, it's easier as a coach to be able to see that than it is for the owner, because they're emotionally tied to a lot of the different consequences within the business.
That is such a great point. An outsider might see where personnel could be shuffled to be doing things that are better fit for them.
Exactly.
Do most people start out with not enough capital?
That's a great question. The average small business owner starts with less than, I say, 1/3 of them start with less than $5,000 to start their business.
And that's a problem because you can go through that quickly.
Substantially, yes.
And now so do you coach people that you need to have a certain amount?
It depends on the business. There's so many different types of businesses, and which, what capital needs you may have. I had a setback with one of my businesses. It was very capital intensive in the trucking industry. And so identifying, what does that look like? But the best way you kind of really prepare for that is doing a good business plan and vetting that through some people that have been through that industry or are familiar with that industry that can help you identify where the missed opportunities might be. But that's a huge component of it. 82% of all small businesses that do fail name sales and or lack of capital as their #1 reason for failing.
You've been doing this a long time. You've worked with a lot of companies to help them succeed. I'm just curious, what are some of the most random businesses that you've worked with over the years?
There's quite a few. Adult toys is one.
Okay.
That was an interesting one. But I think that some of the most interesting ones are some of the service-based businesses that are designed for the different businesses. So you have a service that supports some type of business within an organization. And what's interesting is those particular types of services, I would have never thought, oh, that's actually a business? Language translation?
Yeah.
Not a unique, it makes sense when you think about it, but I have a client that does language translation, and I never would have thought, I thought the marketing agency might manage that, but they outsource that to somebody else. And so it's kind of a unique niche business that works really well in that mix of suppliers for that service.
Well, if someone's thinking of starting a business, or maybe they think that their small business could be thriving more, and they want to put themselves in a position to make plays and have a coach, what's a good way to find you and learn more?
The best way to get a hold of me is go to mybizcoaches.com.
Thank you so much. You can also find out more information over on our website, cw7az.com.
The preceding portion of the Arizona Daily Mix was sponsored by Empowerment Networking Organization.